Okay, so today we're going to talk about the second section of notes for 9.2, multiplying polynomials. So we're still multiplying polynomials. We're just changing up the types of polynomials that we're multiplying. So today we're going to talk about multiplying a trinomial and a binomial. So a expression with 3 terms and an expression with 2 terms. Okay, so it's very similar to the FOIL method that we previously talked about, and it's similar to the distribution method that we talked about with the monomial and the trinomial or the polynomial. So the idea is going to be the same. We're going to take each term in the first set of parentheses and distribute it to each term in the second set of parentheses. So what that's going to look like is you're going to take the 4x squared, distribute it to the 2x, and distribute it to the negative 3. So we get 4x squared times 2x gives us 8x cubed. Then we're going to multiply the 4x squared times negative 3 and get negative 12x squared. Okay, and then we're going to take the x and distribute to the 2x and to the negative 3. So same idea. We're going to take the x and distribute. So then we get x times 2x, which gives us 2x squared. We get x times negative 3, so we get minus 3x. Last but not least, we're going to take the negative 6 and distribute. So we get negative 6 times 2x, which is negative 12x. And then negative 6 times negative 3 to get plus 18. Okay. The big thing that you always want to double check as you go is you want to ask yourself, are you fully simplified? So are you done? And the answer is going to be no. And it's because you have an x squared term here and x squared term there. And you can combine those two. So I'm going to go ahead and underline those because those can be combined because they're like terms. And then same thing with the negative 3x and the negative 12x. So I'm going to go ahead and rewrite this and simplify. And I have 8x cubed. Negative 12x squared plus 2x squared gives me negative 10x squared. Negative 3x minus 12x gives us negative 15x. And then I have my plus 18 at the end. And you always want to make sure it's in standard form. So you always want to make sure that you're starting with the highest exponent and working your way down to the smallest exponent. So we have an exponent of 3, an exponent of 2, an exponent of 1, and then an exponent of 0. So this would be our final answer. Okay, so then let's do the next one together as well. So it's the same idea, it's just written a little bit backwards. So this time the binomial comes first and then the trinomial. It's the same idea. You're just going to distribute these terms into each term in this set of parentheses. So we take the 6n and we multiply it times each term inside the trinomial. So 6n times 2n squared gives us 12n cubed. 6n times n gives us 6n squared. 6n times 7 gives us 42n. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing with the negative 8. So we take negative 8 and we distribute to all 3 terms inside the trinomial. So we get negative 8 times 2n squared gives us negative 16n squared. Negative 8 times n gives us negative 8n. And then negative 8 times positive 7 gives us negative 56. Okay, so in this one, our like terms are not directly next to each other like they were up here at the top. So this time, our like terms are kind of spread out throughout the expression. So it's not as straightforward, but it's still not so bad. So we have our n squared here and an n squared there. I have an n term here and an n term there. I have nothing for my n cubed and I have nothing for my 56, so they stay alone. So we end up with 12n cubed. 6n squared minus 16n squared gives us negative 10n squared. I have 42n minus 8n gives us 34n. And then minus our 56. Okay, again, double check that it's in standard form. So you have the highest exponent working your way down to the lowest exponent. We do. Go ahead, circle it, and you're done.